everyone, welcome to M Learning. In this video, I'll show you a super easy method to factorize any type of quadratic polynomial step by step, no stress, no confusion. So let's get started. So a general quadratic polynomial is the form of ax square plus bx plus c. Let's see some example like x square plus 7x plus 12. Now, in this example, we can see that our A is 1, B is 7, and C is equals to 12. Basically, A is a coefficient of x square, B is a coefficient of x, and C is a constant term. Now, let's see the other example like 6x square minus x minus 2. In this, we have A as 6, B as minus 1. We have to take the negative signs also, and C is equals to minus 2. Now, let's see another example, 6x square minus 3. So, this is also a quadratic polynomial in which x term is missing. This means A here will be 6, B, since we do not have x term here, so B will be 0, and C is negative 3. Now, let's see some root polynomials like root 3x square plus 10x plus 7 root 3. In this case, A is root 3, B is 10, and C is 7 root 3. Now, let's see a polynomial with rational numbers like x square minus x by 6 minus 1 by 3. In this case, we can see A will be 1, B here will be minus 1 by 6, and C will be minus 1 by 3. We can have a lot of polynomials like this, but all will be the same kind. Now let's see one more like 4x square plus 8x. Now here we do not have the C term, the constant term. So C will be 0, A will be 4, B will be 8, and C will be 0. So now let's see the methods of factorization. So all the factorizations quadratic polynomials can be factorized by these three methods: factorizing the middle term, which is also known as the middle term splitting. Second, the algebraic identity like a square minus b square, which is a plus b, a minus b, and factorizing by taking common factors. So let's start with factorizing the middle term, also called the middle term splitting. So let us take a polynomial. Let's take x square plus 7x plus 12. Now the method name is middle term splitting. So what we'll do, we'll split this middle term into two numbers. This is our middle term. The x1 is always the middle term. Okay. So we have to split this middle term into two factors, then we can take the common from the terms we get. So for doing that middle term, first what we need to do, we need to multiply the coefficient a and c. What is a here? A is 1 and c is 12. So multiplying a and c, a into c, we get 12. So now do prime factorization of 12. So we know that 12 is divisible by 2 on 6, again 6 is divisible by 2 on 3, and 3 is divisible by 3 on 1. So using these numbers, we have to make 7 by making two numbers and then add and subtract to get 7. Okay. So let's say 2 2s are 4 and 3. Let's take it as 3, and we know that 4 plus 3 equals to 7, and 4 into 3 is 12. So basically, when we add these numbers, we should get the middle term coefficient, which is 7, and when we multiply, we should get this number, the multiplication of a and c. So we can write 7x as 4x plus 3x and other terms as it is. Now we have to take common from these two terms and common from these two terms. So x square and plus 4x, we can see x is common here. So x, so this term will be left with x and this term will left with 4 when we take x common. Then plus 3, we can take 3 common here because 12 is a multiple of 3. So when we take 3 common, we are left with x plus 4. Note that we should get the same number in the brackets, x plus 4. So now taking x plus 4 and common from them, and the other factor will be x plus 3. So this is the answer for our given quadratic polynomial, which was x square plus 7x plus 12. Now let's do the other example. Let's see one more. So our next example is 4s square minus 4s plus 1. So we'll proceed in the same way. We can see our a here is 4 and c is 1. So if we multiply them, we get 4. And now doing the prime factorization of 4, we can divide 4 by 2 on 2 and 2 by 2. So basically what we need to make minus 4 now, because the coefficient of the middle term is minus 4 here. So obviously 2 plus 2 is minus 4, but we have minus 4. So we'll write minus 2 and minus 2. Okay. So let's write it as 4x square minus 2s plus 1. Now we'll take common from the first two terms and the common from the next two terms. We can see 4s square and 2s has 2s as common. Then when giving 2s common, it will be 2s minus 1 here. And when we take, we can see here that nothing is common. So when nothing is common, we'll take 1 as common, because 1 is the factor of every number. And the sign here will be the same sign which is here, is minus. So minus 1, we are taking minus 1 common here. So it will become positive 2s, and the sign between here will be given by multiplying these two signs. Minus plus is minus, so we'll put minus here, and 1. We can see the term we get in the bracket is same, so means we have done it right. So our factors are 2s minus 1 and 2s minus 1. So we are getting the same factors here. Now let's see another example, which is minus x square minus 2 root 2x plus 6. Now this is a bit difficult because it has a irrational number root 2 here. First of all, what we need to see that there should be no negative sign with x square term. So what we'll do, we'll take minus common from all of these terms. So when we take minus common, we are left with x square plus 2 root 2x minus 6. Now again, first we have to proceed in the same way. First we can see a here is 1 and c here is minus 6. So when we multiply it, we get negative 6. So we have to do prime factorization of 6 is divided by 2 on 3 is divided by 3 on 1. Now we can see in our middle term we have root 2 here. So what we have to do, we have to break this 2 prime factor 2 into root 2. We know that root 2 into root 2 is 2 only. So root 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2. Now using these, we have to make 2 root 2. So what we can do, we can write 3 root 2 as one number and root 2 as the other number. So all of these factors have been used, and since we need plus 2 root 2, so we'll put plus here and minus here. As we know that 3 root 2 minus root 2 is 2 root 2. So minus x square, which can be written as minus. So let's write the factors between them. So minus x square plus 3 root 2x minus root 2x, and instead of writing minus 6, I am writing its factor, which is root 2 into 3, because 6 is 2 into 3 and 2 can be written as root 2 into root 2 into 3. So I am writing root 2 into 3. Now taking common from the first two terms and from the next two terms. So the first two terms has x as common. So we are left with x plus 3 root 2. Then here we can see we have minus root 2 common. Negative is with both the numbers. Since obviously we have to take the same sign here, and we can see root 2 is common. So here we are left with x, and we know that minus and minus will become plus. So we'll write plus here and 3 root 2. So the factors we get are x minus root 2 and x plus 3 root 2 and negative sign in front. What we can do for this negative sign, we can multiply this negative sign with any of these terms. So I am multiplying it with this one. So this will become minus x plus root 2 and keeping this one same, x plus 3 root 2. So these are its factors. Now let's see one more example, which is x square minus x by 6 minus 1 by 3. Now what is different here? We have the rational numbers here. Basically, we have denominators here. First of all, we have to remove these denominators. How we can do that? By taking LCM. So we can see x square does not have any new denominator, so we'll put 1 here. So now 1, 6 and 3 has LCM as 6, because you can take their LCM and check. So now to make this one 6, we'll multiply this by 6. So it will become 6x square. Since x has 6 in denominator, it would not be multiplied by any number. And since 3 is multiplied by 2 is 6, so we'll multiply 1 into 2. So we get 2. So basically, we can write it like this: 1 by 6 bracket 6x square minus x minus 2. Now we just have to factorize this and put 1 by 6 in front. So to factorize this, obviously first we can see a is 6 here and c is minus 2. If we multiply them, we get minus 12. So now do prime factorization of 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6, divided by 2 is 3, divided by 3 is 1. So using these, we have to make minus 1, because our b is minus 1. So we can see 2 2s are 4 and 3. So 4 and 3 has a difference of 1, but if we take minus 4 and plus 3, we get minus 1. So basically our factors will be 6x square minus 4x plus 3x. The middle term is split, minus 2. So 1 by 6. Now we'll take common from first two terms and the next two terms. We can see 6 and 4 are both the factors of 2. So we can take 2 common from here, 2x. Then 6x square will be left with 3x minus 2. Now they don't have anything common, so we'll take 1 common and the brackets would remain same. So we can see our factors are 2x plus 1 and 3x minus 2 and 1 by 6 in front. Now what you can do, you can leave this 1 by 6 here, or you can just multiply this 1 by 6 by any of these factors. So I'm multiplying this 1 by 6 into the first factor. So I'll get 2x by 6 plus 1 by 6 and 3x minus 2. Now this can be reduced. 2 1s are 2 3s are. So this will become x by 3 plus 1 by 6 and 3x minus 2. This is its answer, factors. I hope you understood this. Now let's move to the factorization of another type, in which we'll use this identity called algebraic identity: a square minus b square is equals to a plus b, a minus b. Now this type of factorization is done when we don't have the middle term, like the linear term, x wali term, when the x is not here. If the x term is not here, so this can be written, seen, this is our example, t square minus 9. So t square can be written as t whole square and 9 can be written as 3 square. So this becomes a square minus b square, and we know that a square minus b square is equals to a plus b, a minus b. So factors will be a plus b, that is t plus 3, and a minus b, that is t minus 3. So this is factorized. Now let's see one more. Like suppose if we have x square minus 15. So now x square can be written as x whole square, and since 15 is not a perfect square, so we can write 15 as root 15 whole square. So now this becomes a square minus b square, which is a plus b and a minus b. X plus 15, x minus root 15 are its factors. Now let's see the third one, which is factorizing by taking common factors, is the easier one. And in this, we basically, or generally we'll say, we don't have a constant term, the c term here. So what we can see here, we can see these two terms have some common factors, like 4 is common to both because it is a multiple of 4, and y. So we'll take 4 y common. So we are left here with y minus 2, and this is factorized. This is the answer. Now let's see one more, in which you have multiple steps, like 3z square minus 27. First of all, we can see 3 is common because 27 is a multiple of 3. So we can take 3 common, z square minus 9. Now again in brackets we can solve it further, because z can be written as z square and 9 can be written as 3 square. So this becomes a square minus b square. So we know that a square minus b square is a minus b, a plus b. So it becomes z plus 3, z minus 3. Or in short, we can write it like this: 3 multiplied z minus 3 multiplied z plus 3. This is its factors. So I hope you understood all of these different factorization of quadratic polynomial. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like this video.